carry on. I'm just busy trying to finish fussy cutting. I'm almost done, but I thought I better not keep you all waiting. How are you? Have you had a good day? Hello, Alison. How are you? Lovely to see you. Hope you've all had a good day. I have been down here in the studio crafting away. Hello, Wendy. How is the weather where you are, Wendy? I'm very jealous of you in your olive grove. So, sorry I keep looking up there. It's because I need to look up there to see the comments. So if I seem incredibly rude by sort of not looking at you, that is why. So I'm just looking up there. So today we are playing with watercolours. I have had a practice. So one of the things is a sort of technique that I've seen on TikTok. It seems to have gone viral. So I've had a little play and to see different ways that we could achieve that. And then also we are then going to play with said background to create some card. Warm and sunny. Yeah, it's dark and cold and wet here. Don't be sorry, just enjoy it. Enjoy it. So anyway, hello wherever you are. There's a few of you on YouTube. And yeah, most of you are on YouTube and Alison's on Facebook. Anyway, wherever you are watching, I am going to be really cheeky and say, if you can and you want to, please could you consider sharing the live? It just gets more people on it and it helps with algorithms and things like that. It makes the algorithms feel like this is something people want to see, and it helps me overall as a business. So I'm just going to be cheeky and start asking now because, you know, if you don't ask, you don't get. Anyway, without further ado, let's start crafting. Thank you, Alison. You're a star. You regularly share everything and I really, really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. Right, now I'm about to do the weird light thing. All of this is vanity. The reason that we have to go through this dark to light thing is just purely vanity because I don't like the ring light on my face. It looks horrific. And I've not quite mastered it yet, but we'll get there. And I've done it wrong anyway. Never mind. Let's turn you to the... There we go. After all that, you still saw the hideousness on my face. There we go. So, hello, Sue. How are you? Let's get that out of the way. I am first of all we are going to play with some liquid watercolours. But whilst we're playing with liquid watercolours, I am just going to give these ones a little squirt. These are my Kuretake Gansei Tambi. I love them. I love, love, love them. Right. But because I want them really nice and thick and creamy for the technique that we are doing, I am just going to get them activated and then hopefully they should be nice and ready for when we want to have a play. So I'm just going to do that and put it to the side. Thank you, Rianne. Greatly appreciated. So let's get our bit of paper. So the reason that I'm doing it with, you've enjoyed the videos, Pauline, that's good. Thank you ever so much. I'm glad you're enjoying them. It makes all the work worthwhile. Right, I am going to grab some liquid watercolours. Hands up who's got liquid watercolours. I'm doing this technique two different ways because I appreciate that not everybody will have them. But for some reason I seem to have acquired masses of them over the years and literally never ever used them. So when I saw this technique on TikTok, I thought, well, there's a good way of using my liquid watercolours. So that is what we are going to do. Right, so I am wanting to create a sort of like icy background. I've got the Ecoline ones too, Alison. I've got these ones. These ones were loose and I've got all the Ecoline ones too. Shocking. Shocking. I have got so many colouring mediums because I'm a magpie when it comes to colour. I can't resist it. And yet, despite having had these for years, I very, very, very rarely use them. So that is my goal. I'm going to say this year, but there's not much of this year left. And my goal for next year is definitely to become a little bit more versatile. So I have just got a bit of water to the side here and I'm literally just soaking it up in my pipette and sticking it back out just to clean my pipette, ready for getting some more watercolour. And I've got another I've got another thing of watercolour ready for when I start painting. You're thinking of buying some Ecoline pens. I do love my Ecoline pens, I have to say. I have got so much stash, it's ridiculous. So I am just basically going to be creating a line, and I've got very, like, of different colours, and I've got some blues, and I've got some purples, and I'm just randomly dotting it in a line, quite frankly. So we've got that. What have we just used? We've used the purple and the blue. We'll use a bit of this blue and then a bit of silver. Hi Sheila. You are waiting on YouTube. I am on YouTube. There's 8 of you watching on YouTube. So you should find me there. Right, so put some of this blue down. Making a random mess. Yes, they are fabulous. In fact, there's more of you on YouTube tonight. There's 8 of you on YouTube, and then there's 7 of you on Facebook. 5 of you are on my page, and 2 are in the group. Amazing what I can see. Right, and then I have this one here, which is a silver. So I'm going to put some of this to the side. Hello again, Susan. Right. So we're going to put a few dabs of this. This one seems to be a bit thicker. Oops, I don't know why. I don't know whether to have it... Oh, got a nice air bubble going on there. I don't know whether to have it silver. It's a thicker consistency. Who knows? Right. So we have just put ink in a line, basically. And that is the sum total of all we are going to do. I'm just going to get another bit of paper because this will start to go everywhere. Right, so I have got a large thing of water, and I am using a large brush. Big Brother is watching us. Oh my. Right, so I've got a large brush, and I'm going to get loads of water on it, and I'm just going to touch the edge of this line, and then what should happen is it will carry the water up. It'll carry the colour up with it. So this was me, like after we did the thing last week with the Northern Lights, I thought this could create a very similar effect. I'm just going to keep bringing the water up. And take it to the top of the page. So see, we've got the like striations and everything going up like that. That's what I thought. That's why I thought this technique would be cool for our winter makes. Because it sort of almost gives that impression of, I don't know, a sky or a background in the Atlantic or something. Right, so I'm just filling out any bits where there's dryness and there's no water gone. Okay. That's it. That is the sum total of everything we're doing. And then I'm just going to, this is why I've got a spare bit of card. I'm just kind of almost going to encourage that. Just push it that way a little bit. Okay. Hello, Caroline. How are you? Right, I want to do the bottom half as well. So I've gone that way first, and I want that top part to be darker, which is partly why I've put the silver underneath. And I want the bottom part to be lighter so that it's almost like the iceberg or the reflection of the sky. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to work the opposite way. I am going to put water down first. And I'm currently working on, I seem to have got a bit of goop or something in my water. I'm currently working on Dolly Dimple's mixed media card. Right, so I'm going to get my water. So that's pretty much there. And then, hello, good evening. And I'm just going to just touch that line that we have that side. And it will start to bleed into this side as well, but hopefully just lighter, because we've got the bulk of the colour having been pushed that way. Now by doing this along here, I'm getting the rest of the colour to move that way, and it's a much softer colour. Ooh, that looks good. Sorry, even if I say so myself, I'm thinking, oh, I like that one better than the ones that are dry, but we're going to have to work with the ones that dry because that is going to take, we have soaked that. There is a lot of water on this piece of card, so it is going to take a while to dry. And as I say, you can, to an extent, sort of manipulate it and roll it a little bit if you want to sort of move the colours in a different direction, but I'm quite liking it. So we'll put that to the side. And then, as I said, making a right mess here. I'm going to be cleaning up blue paint for a while, I think. As I said, I wanted to see if I could create a similar look using normal watercolours, because I appreciate that not everybody has liquid watercolours. So if you have liquid watercolours, really fun technique. I want to play with it with a lot more different colours. I think it could be good for creating like forest scenes as well. You know, if you put like browns and then maybe greens a bit further up. But I've just played around with these icy colours so far. So let's pull these paints back up. So basically, because we want that the water to carry the colour up, we need to be quite heavy-handed with how we lay down this paint. So I'm gonna got my paints here. Let's pull them in. So I really am gonna, as I said, we sprayed that with water a little while ago, and I am going to just really work it and get loads on my brush. I mean, you don't normally paint with lots of watercolour, but we've really loaded the brush there. Hello, Christine. Thank you, Wendy. Glad you like the look of it. And I'm just going to try, and I'm just rolling the brush because I'm not wanting to drag the colour along. I'm basically wanting to deposit like lumps of pigment onto the paper. Okay. And then we'll be similar. I'm going to get some of these gorgeous blues. So you tend to find, because we're putting this down already watered, I don't know how to say that. It's already been diluted with water, even though it doesn't really look it, even though it's quite dark. It's been diluted with water more than just using the liquid acrylics. So that's why we really do need to make sure that we are getting loads of colour down when we do this. So that we're, as I said, we're sort of depositing lumps of paint. I don't quite know how to describe what I'm trying to say. So I'm hoping that what I'm saying makes some sort of sense. Because I don't know that I'm explaining it very well. So I'm going to go in with this more sort of pastel opaque blue, and I'm going to use that where I used the silver in the last one, because I don't have silver in this set. I do have a white that's pearlized, so we might manage to do a little bit with that. Okay. It's contaminated my white there, but never mind, it's easy enough. If you do contaminate your paint, I'll just show you in a minute, because I have given that a bit of a blue tinge. Now, to be honest, this white is near the end of its life anyway, so I'm not overly worried. It's because I don't have really clean water. My water is tinted blue. So when you're painting with watercolour, they normally recommend that you have 2 pots of water, so sort of one to clean your brush, and you clean it first and then you dip it in the next pot of water. But because both my pots are already quite blue, that's not really happening. But if that happens, you literally just lift up the watery parts like that, and then you've taken all of that sort of blue tint out. Right, so let's do our watercolour magic. Okay, so again, similar idea. I've got lots of water and I'm just going to drag it. Now, I did find that I needed to encourage it slightly more doing it this way, but it's all right, just take your time. And what's quite good is, although you're laying sort of similar colours down, every time you do this, you are going to get a really different result. So I'm just sort of activating that, getting that going. and then we will pull it up the page. And it just, look at that, look, looks really stormy clouds. It's so good. It's almost like, if you've seen the reverse colouring ideas, you could just make stuff like this for a scene, and then you're just going to have to work with whatever it gives you. I just think it's awesome. Right, so, and your pigment only tends to travel as far as your water does. Okay, so that's turned out paler than the last lot, but anyway, that's fine. So I'm going to do a similar thing, especially with this one, because as I said, you're already working with diluted paint. Although we put it on nice and thick, we're already working with a sort of diluted, look at that, I love watercolour running around. So you can sort of manipulate it and do different things. It's not going to be as dark as when we did the it with the liquid, but we can still make it work. So that's what I'm trying to say, that it doesn't matter what you've got, use what you've got, and you can still create similar effects. Thank you, Bev. I appreciate it. Right, so now we want to bring the paler thing to the bottom. So we've got our kind of almost iceberg or grounding. So the water goes to the bottom first. And as I said, it's because we've moved most of the pigment that way. And then we can just gently, and you find if you don't quite touch the line, sort of go close to it, see what comes down, and you can always go back and sort of activate later. Oops, so that's come down quite heavily, but that's all right. Just work with it. Just work with what you've got. So that now almost looks like a cave. See how the I love this. You could spend hours doing this. See how that we've got a dark loop there. I feel like that could be like an ice cave. Who knows? Right, let me just go and very gently move that out the way, and I will show you the ones that I created last night when I was prepping. Because as I said, these have got a lot of water on, so if you were to do these, I would batch do a whole load. I would experiment with different colours, oops, and then wait till the next day and then craft the next day with them. Right. Ooh. Hope the cat doesn't come in because she'll end up walking right through that. Right, so I'll show you the ones that I made last night. So this was the one that I made using the Echolines. I obviously went a lot heavier handed with the silver at the bit. So that's what we're working with today. And this was the one that I did, like we did just now, that I did with the Kuretake paints. So they're both very interesting backgrounds, but let's turn them into scenes. So as I said, in my head, I'm thinking ice and snow, winter, sky. And then I've got some little characters that we can sort of pop in and do different, that one's not fully cow, but and do different things with. So first of all, let's chop this down to a card size. We'll maybe make one with this. Now this could probably do 2 cards. I'm not going to, yeah, you could get 2 cards out of this at least. So each background could probably do you 2 cards. What I am going to do is make 1 card with this one and 1 card with that one. And then I might make another card sometime, but not on the live. Okie dokie. Good. Thank you, Rianne. It's always really interesting, and watercolour is really quite unpredictable. It blooms, like that didn't look anything like that, but it can have this tendency to bloom. And it looks very different dry than it does when wet. So it's always really interesting what you get. Right, I'm going to start off by cutting the white part off. And all of these go into my scraps and journals and different things like that. Thank you. Whoever's just said looks ace, I'm sorry, but you're coming up on my system as Facebook user. So I'd love it if you can give me your name so I can talk to you properly. I feel really rude just going thanks and not saying your name. Okay, so we have that there. So I'm just going to make this to match. Judith. Thank you, Judith. I'm so sorry. I don't know why my system does that. It's really frustrating. Oh, Beth, really do. I hope you do give it a go. That would be lovely. And if you do, please show me. I'd love to see how you get on with it. Right, so now we have our scene. I'm just going to emphasize that this is the darker sky and that we've got the iceberg. So I'm going to do that. So once we've created our background, we can still use all our crafty techniques with all our products. I am going to have a look for, I think, black suit. Oh no, faded jeans, that'll do. That's it. I want a nice dark blue. It is a beautiful effect, isn't it, Christine? And it's so simple. It really is literally just sloshing paint. Sloshing paint down. Bit of paint, bit of water. Right. So I'm just going to emphasize this a little bit. Let's just darken this around the edges just a tiny little bit. I don't know if that's made a huge difference, to be honest. You're a scrapbooker and this would make a wonderful background. It would, absolutely. What do you like to scrapbook, Bev? I always look at scrapbooks. That is one thing. I always tell myself I'm going to make a scrapbook and I never seem to get round to it. That's not done a huge amount, so I think we need to pull out the black suit wherever that is hiding. It's not hiding in that box. Process of elimination here. Or that one. Sorry guys. The trouble is I have an idea and I kind of think, you know, yes, I'm going to play with watercolour backgrounds and I am going to use the winter birds and things on it. But other than that, I don't really know where I'm going, so it evolves as I go. Judith, it is the Dolly Dimples Mixed Media card. Right, let's try the black suit. Get the bad boys in. And this is because I like to work with contrast and depth of colour, and it's really just going to emphasise the fact that this is night sky. So, anything and everything. You have too much scrapbook and not enough time. Oh, I love the fact that you're scrapbooking as you watch me. Is anyone else crafting? Because I like that idea. I like the idea that you're all just in my craft room and we're all just having a crafty little evening and we're all just working away on our projects and having a little blether. That's what I would love. Right, I'm just going to give this a little waft with the old heat gun just because I want to do some stamping and embossing on this now. And I don't really want the embossing powder to stick to the wet ink. So I'm just going to give it a little waft away from the blending mat because the blending mat does not like heat. Do it on the back as well. Okie dokie. Right, so I've pulled out your colouring in. Oh, I've got some little squeaks tonight, Sue. We have a little snowball guy. Like, ta-da! Right, I have pulled out the winter birds and the little squeak. So as I'm not wanting to be all salesy because I really am not. I genuinely am not. I just want this week to be about fun, about crafting and stuff like that. But if you do have anything on your wish list, as well as the bundles that will go live on Friday, and if you are watching all the videos on YouTube, you'll gradually see the various bundles that will be on offer. There will be a discount code that covers the entire shop. So if you're looking at everything and think I don't have that and it'd be really cool, just wait until Friday because you'll get the best deals then. And sign up for the newsletter because there'll be even better deals through the newsletter than there will be on social media. Right. Anyway, that's enough. I'm not going to plug it again because, as I said, I don't want this week to be about that. I want it to be about just sitting crafting together. Right. I don't want that. What do I want? Where have you gone? Oh, you're over here. I was obviously embossing earlier today. Lost my ink pad. Right. And let's get some embossing powder. Hi, Claire. How are you, my lovely? I've not spoken to you forever. You're cross-stitching. I love cross-stitch. I haven't done it in ages. I do actually need to find something like that. I think now, because this is my job, I need to find another crafting outlet for relaxing. Right, so I have got my Versamark and I'm going to, let's stamp some little snowflakes. This always just looks ridiculous at this stage because you can't see what's actually going on. But bear with and trust the process. Hello, Julie, my lovely. How are you? Right, so let's get the embossing powder down. See what I've actually done. Oh, we do have a few snowflakes. How wonderful. Right, so we've got a few snowflakes there now. I'm just going to emboss them. And what do you reckon on this one? These are the 3 characters. So we've got Pink Bird, who just needs to be cut out a little bit more. We have Bluebird. Oh, I think he looks quite cool. Or actually, I've taken one out. So what do we reckon? Bird or mouse? I mean, we could use the other one on the other card. Right, let's waft this with the heat gun. Bird. Julie reckons bird. Okie dokie. Birdie is going on this one. I'm just going to emboss this. I always feel like it takes ages to get going. Oh, you're all in agreement. Oh, apart from Dominique and Sue, sorry. I think there's more birds than there are mices, than there are mice. So we'll maybe put the mouse on the other one. And I'm just, it's like watching paint dry. Sorry, I'm trying to talk at the same time, but my fingers are also burning, so I'm focusing on not like dropping anything while I'm burning my fingers. Right, there we go. Let's get a black pen. I love how icy that looks. Look at that. Right, I'm going to just edge this in black because it's me and I have to edge everything in black. I have issues. So who else is crafting tonight? We've got Claire crafting and we have oh, my brain. Claire is crafting. Sorry, I need to scroll up. As is Bev. Who else is crafting tonight? Who's crafting along with me? Oh, I know Sue's colouring in little mice. Is anyone else crafting and what are you doing? Okay. So, we have that. Oh, you're crocheting. Do you know crocheting is one of the... I have tried most crafts. There's not many crafts that I've not tried. And I cannot crochet for toffee. My dad is amazing at it. And has tried to teach me, but I think I'm a lost cause. So even if you're crocheting badly, you're probably still doing much better than I am. And I'm still very impressed and a tad jealous. Caroline is saying hello to Dominique. Hello to both of you. Right. Now is where we want the glue. Oh yeah, you are going to work. How wonderful. Okay. So we will get this down. Now, because this is a watercolour card and it's slightly warped, and I've now thingied it with a heat gun, it is ever so slightly warped and it's not going to stick down properly. So what I would do, and it works for me every single time, is after you've made your card, just put it under a pile of books and it'll be absolutely fine. I can always prove it to you next week. Put it under a pile of books and show you next week that it's all. There we go. So we'll put this little dude here. And then just to ground him and to make this look a little bit more icy, I am going to pull out my gesso. Now, it'll be the last one I pull out. It's always the way. Right, gesso. Let's see if I can open it. Not a lot left in this one. I do have multiple tubs in my room, so we're all good. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little bit of gesso. So your gesso is semi-transparent, so we're all good. So I'm just going to sort of create little snowy icy bits for him to stand on. Just going to sort of go and sort of I don't want to lose too much of what's underneath there, but it just makes it a little bit whiter and just sort of differentiates between the two a little bit. Some nice texture through that as well. It's nice. You have a large silver tray on your sideboard, which is very handy for flattening cards. I have a load of art books in the studio. I don't have a huge amount of art books, but I love the ones that I've got, and they're sat in my studio, and so I will sort of pull them out. And see, now he looks like he's stood on a wee icebergy thing. Not icebergy, but a snowy hill. I'm just going to block this bit in a bit more. Okay. Now, that's so cute. Right. I am going to stick him down. Then we'll do some white splashes, and then I will find a little sentiment, and then we will make another card. So I do want to try this technique again, as I said, with forest colours. And I've not invented it. There's a woman on TikTok that did it, and like it's gone viral. She's got loads of videos, and I just thought, oh, I have to give that a try. You love this set. You've asked for Charlotte and Enid set. Well, whoever you've asked, Pauline. Whoever you've asked, you might want to send them an email. When the sales are on, just keep checking your inbox. I said I wouldn't do this, right? I'm not doing it anymore. Inbox for Black Friday and in the coming weeks as well, because we're going to have a weekend price drop event. Right. Oh. Thank you, Christine. Right, I'm going to get some of this gesso out here. Stick it in the lid. Spray it with lots of water. Move my iPad out of the way because it is right in the splatter zone. Honestly, the amount of equipment that I have got that is really good equipment and is covered in paint is ridiculous. Right, let's just get this all watered down a little bit. And then I'm just going to cover her up a little bit. And add some splatters. So we've got the splatters as well as the stuff. That now looks like a big shaft of light, doesn't it? Love it. I'll put a little bit in the foreground as well. Right, it just needs a sentiment. And then that's this one done. And then, as I said, we will create one with one of the other backgrounds. What have we got? Snow day. We are all like snow. What have we got? Oh, might be quite good because it's quite a big one. Decisions. Yeah, I should have just gone for that. It's quite a big sentiment, which is going to fill that space really well. So, my desk, I start out these lives so organised you would not believe, and then by the end of it I cannot find anything. Here's a scrap bit of card, that'll do. That'll do. Thank you, Susan. Okay. Right, stamp that down. Okay, we are all like a snowflake, all different in our own beautiful way. So that's what that's into. You've got to go, hubby needs you. Say hi to hubby for us. Thank you for joining. Right, so cut that out. And then we can just stick that there. It needs a bit of a, just trying to find, this is a blue brush, it's got the blue ink. I don't know how old the blue ink is, but it just needs the whiteness knocked back a tiny little bit. There we go. And edge that in black as well. Just trying to decide where to have that now. Yeah, I think that's about the best place. I'm not overly loving it, but there you go. Tis what it is. I think the ground is too high up. It should be lower down, but that's just the way I've learnt now, because when I did these last night, I put the colour in the middle of the card. And then I kind of realised after I'd done that I should have done it 3/4 of the way down the card to get the look that I was doing. So if I was to probably make stuff with the ones that we did tonight, they'd just be that bit lower down. That's fine. We'll make it work. Let's grab a pen. Let's just make this look like it's stitched on a little bit, add a bit more detail. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same around the edge. I think we need to ground this little guy a bit more. Actually thinking that what I might do, oh, I've very unevenly stuck this card down. So then I've got here, I've got a big white bit there and like nothing at the bottom. When I have flattened my card, I will probably take that to my trimmer and cut that down a little bit. That's shocking, honestly. I think what I'm going to do, if I'm capable of finishing a sentence, is get this, because this is the silver paint that we used. I think I'm just going to add an extra tiny little bit more, just to ground, so it sort of matches the rest a little bit. I suppose we could do some silver splatters as well, couldn't we? Or will that just be getting a bit much? I'm just going to add a little bit of extra silver to that, and then I could just almost like draw around the edges of the various snow mound things. I need to water that out a little bit more. It's a bit too concentrated. So I'll just pull it down a little bit. I don't know if that's made any difference whatsoever. Let's do some splatters while we're at it. Silver splatters. Got white splatters, silver splatters, embossing. It's all going on here. Right, I need to stop faffing and get on with the next one. Okay, so that is card number 1 done. I'm trying to see where I can put this, or I'm not going to cause devastation. Right. Let's get card number 2. Okay, and we have, so this is how this one dried. So again, let's cut it down, and we will see what we can do with this. I'm just going to get all the white off first, all the edges, and then we'll work with whatever's left. Actually looking at that could be like a tree. Can I preserve that one? I think I'm going to preserve that one because that looks like a massive tree and then a bit of a lake. Let's do some almost reverse colouring style with this, and we'll pick the shapes out and turn them into something, and then we can add extra details after. See what I mean? That looks like a lake and a tree. And then we can put some stars in, just so that the 2 cards look different and that you can see different ways that you could use your backgrounds. No point in us doing the same techniques in both. What a mess I am making of my desk. Honestly, it's even cluttered for you guys. Look, if I show you here, if I show you the full view, look at the state. Shocking. Right, let's just make it not quite as bad. Okay, let's edge it in black as we always do. Right, there we go. So as I said, I'm thinking that could be a tree. So I'm going to get my white pen and my black pen, and let's desks match. Well, it's not just the desk, Christine, it's the floor, because I've got watercolour card and cards and bits all over the floor. Right, so I'm thinking this could be a tree. I've said that a few times now, so let's just stop saying it and start getting on with it. So we've got a sort of big tree, like so. It kind of loses its shape a little bit at the bottom, but it's fine. We'll live and learn. And we could do some sort of little branches into it, follow the blooms. Okay, and then I'm going to give this a bit of a grass line along here, because this could be a pond, and then we've got a bit of a grass line there. Looks like a dragon face near the bottom. Yeah, that's what I love. Has anyone tried the reverse colouring thing? Dawn and I sort of did a sort of video where we turned sort of backgrounds, because you can buy reverse colouring books. I was going to make my own at one point. But, you know, my list of things that I would like to do and like to make and the time frame are 2 very different things. Right. I'm just going to emphasise this a little bit. I've got some sort of funky scene going on here. And then I'm just going to give this a few water ripples. Okay. To emphasise that, I'm going to add sort of like the markings of a tree. This is really rough. Anyone can do this. Don't sit there and think because you can draw you can do it, because I actually get quite nervous just doodling on projects. What I am going to do is block some of these bits out and make them black, because I think they'll stand out a bit better. See, it's kind of looking more like a, especially if I do the same down here as well. Let's get in with my Pro marker. Oh, that's rubbish. So dried out, it's ridiculous. Right. I'm gonna block these bits out here so that you see a more definite tree shape. And the same round here. Okay. I likey. Right. Make some of these. Thank you, Sue. Right, we're getting there. Right, so I'm going to do the same now, but I'm just going to go over it with my white pen, so we'll get a bit more detail. I'll do some scribbling in it because it's laden with snow. This isn't at all where I was expecting this to go. This is what I mean. I have a sort of rough idea what I'm going to do, and then the creativity bit sort of just takes over. So as you can see, I'm not drawing, I'm literally scribbling. And I'm holding my pen really far back, so it's really loose. Okay. I can emphasize, right, I'm going to do some of this grassy bits again. So I think it's amazing, once you've got black and white down, it suddenly lifts so much better. So we'll put that around, and then let's get some sort of thingies in the pond. Right. And the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw my snowflakes in. Rather than splatter, I'm going to draw them in. And then we can do some shooting star or some little star flakes as well. I can be a bit more intentional about where they're going. I think it was only when I was talking about that last one that we did live together, and I said it looked like a cave, that I sort of started seeing more pictures in it. Right, I'll turn some of these into twinkly stars. Oh, I quite like that. It's very random. It's not the best artwork in the world, but it's more of a suggestion. It's a suggestion of what could be on in the background. Right, let's grab our little characters. I think little mousy guy. There's the mousy guy. Oh, look! He looks so cute there. Hello, Tracy. How are you? Oh, look. I love him. Right, it's just made me want to make... I know it's going to look ridiculous here, but I want there to be grass up here, just so that we can actually see it behind the moose. And I know that's not how to say mouse, but, you know, I'm just being ridiculous, as I am. Oh, it's so cute. I love it. Thank you, Susan. I genuinely love it. I'm so excited. I think this is because I've done something totally different. And as I said, that's really what I am trying to do with my lives. I just feel that I'd become very samey, and it's not fair to you all. We should be trying new things. So I'm genuinely trying really hard to be trying new things and hopefully getting you guys to try new things. So I want to see lots of watercolour backgrounds in the group now. If you felt inspired, please do give it a try. Right, so let's stick that down. This is why you should push yourself outside your comfort zone and try something different. Because you never know what you're going to come up with. And you can really surprise yourself and be really, really chuffed and happy with what you've ended up with. So I'm going to stick him there. I think I might do a similar thing, and that we'll maybe just get a bit of gesso just to sort of ground him a little bit. And then pretty much it, I think. It's like, could I unwind that anymore? Let's have a little look. Let's get a little brush. He's perfect there. Lovely surprise when you put the mouse down. Yeah, I just wasn't expecting it. Right, is this still gesso? No, I didn't think it seemed like gesso. That's gel medium. That's not at all what I want. You love how this one's turned out. Thank you, Rianne. I love how it's turned out too. I'm so excited for myself. It's like... Right, let's get some gesso down. As I say, I just want a little bit I just want to stipple it almost. Oh yeah, that's good. I don't want to take away from the background, but I do always think your images need grounded. I believe in grounding your images. It just makes such a difference. Having your images look like they're sat on something. I'm just gonna make this make a bit more sense. There we go. Oh, that is so cute. I love it. Right. The background is stunning. I've just formed a tree. Yeah. Has anyone tried the reverse colouring books? I've not tried the book, but I have tried the technique, because as crafted, I almost bought one because it's like it was going viral on YouTube. I almost bought one, and then I was thinking I have a box fulls of backgrounds that I've made that I could do the exact same with, and Dawn and I did do a video on it. But it just shows you can just like look into it and see what you see. As I said, I think I will show you how the one that we were doing is drying. I think it would make a fab cave or something. Right, let's get him stuck down. And then, do we need a sentiment, or should we just leave it as a scene? Do we need a little sentiment, or should we just leave as is? I really don't know. I just need to lift him a bit higher so that we don't have grass floating in the air. Oh, that's so cute. I love the fact that you've got a very monochrome look. So all of this is very monochrome and tonal. And then you've just got the pop of colour from the mouse. Do you know what I mean? I think that looks fabulous. Even if I say so myself, excuse me, hiccuping. So Sue says just a scene. Right, let's just get our wiggly twiggly border in. I'm going to show you how the other ones are drying, and then I can see what I mean about how you could draw things into it. And then we'll have a little look at the two cards together. It's definitely made me want to try this technique with a multitude of colours and see what occurs. I've just sort of not done the line there, so it looks like the tree's popping over the edge of the card. Okay. That is so cute. Sorry, I should stop admiring. No, actually, I am a firm believer that you should admire your own work. Because I get a lot of people that put stuff in the group and they tell me what they don't like about it. And I was watching a video on this as well, but it was saying that make it your practice to always look at your work and name 2 things that you love about it. You're allowed to look at your work and go, next time I would try this, because that's constructive and it allows growth, but always compliment yourself first and find 2 things that you like. Now I'm just going to show you how, see this one as it's drying has become even more emphasised in that area. So now I was saying that it could be a cave. So you absolutely could draw around that. You could have a little character, sort of a little silhouette character just kind of coming in here and stuff. I think that would be really cool. And actually, ironically, the other one that we've done, I don't know what I was doing with my water and my brush. It's seeming to sort of drawing a bit of a curve as well. That one looks cool. That's almost like Stargate. Stargate and then a whole forest of trees behind it. Love it. You could do this technique with stencils over the background, you mean? Absolutely. It's just a background. You can then use all your crafty techniques that you know and love on top of them. Absolutely. Right, now where did the card go? There we go. So there's our 2 cards that we've made using, I'm just trying to move everything to the side so that we pretend that it's all clear and clean. There we go. Pretend that like life is not a mess behind the screen. Those are the 2 cards. So thank you so much for joining me. Just give me a second. I will swizzle you around so that I can talk to you. I'm just going to do the whole weird lighting thing again. If I can find the light. My light's disappeared down the back of my desk. Where are you? Oh. Sorry guys. This is a faff. This is not the way to end a live. Right. Okay. I am just going to do that. And then do that. Look, that is why we don't have that light on in here. And let's do this. It's a big palaver. Thank you. I'm so glad you love them. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. I'm so glad you're enjoying Black Friday week. So a video did go up earlier tonight. We were playing with the robots. So that's really fun. Hope you enjoy that. There is 2 more videos to come. And don't forget, for Black Friday only, we are going to be live twice on Friday. So if you enjoy lives, I'm going to be live again at 11 o'clock on Friday, and I am going to be live at 7 p.m. So I will see you on Friday. But in the meantime, enjoy all the inspiration. Thank you for your company. I so love having you guys here. Honestly, it's great fun having you with me in the studio. And if you do give this a try, I know there's quite a lot of you on YouTube tonight, but I do have a Facebook group called the JMC Crazy Craft Hive. And if you do give this technique a try, I would love it if you pop it in the Facebook group or tag me on Instagram or something like that, because I'm desperate to see what you guys do. I know that you'll all smash it and knock it out the park. So thank you ever so much. I am off to have a cuppa and do what I do, and I will see you guys on Friday. So take care.